This is Earl White, real estate attorney. This is a video about the 5 most important considerations that landlords need to evaluate when they are considering entering into a payment plan with non-paying tenants. So the first consideration is the history of tenants' payments. So if a tenant has consistently paid on time throughout the life of their tenancy and now they've gotten behind, they have a history of performance. So presumably it is better if they're a good tenant and they have a history of payment, and maybe it's just a short period where they're having a problem, then it may make sense, rather than jumping to removing the tenant or some more aggressive action, to work with them on a payment plan, since they have a credit history with you of coming even on the rent and paying on time. So that's probably the most important consideration when you are negotiating a payment plan with a tenant trying to catch up on rent. Second most important consideration is the amount of rent that is owed and the number of months it's owed from. If the rent is overdue 3 months, 4 months, and that's each month is a sizable amount, it's probably unlikely that the tenant, even if you agree to a payment plan, is going to be able to pay that amount. They haven't paid that much money in 3 or 4 months. It's unlikely they're going to come up with the money. They can try the payment plan, but it will just delay the most likely process that they're not going to pay the rent on time. Now, you also want to consider their ability to pay. So do they have a job? Are they employed? Is there multiple people that are contributing to the rent? If it's just one tenant and he's lost his job or is struggling due to other expenses, then he's probably not going to be able to stay current with a payment plan, even if all the parties wish to have a successful payment plan. Next, you have to consider the value of the tenant or the value of the vacant unit. So this person has fallen behind. You've now opened up the avenue to be able to evict them. So what does that eviction mean? On the one hand, it does mean you have a vacant unit that's not paying rent. That's not a great thing, and that's a loss of income for a month or so while you're going to release this unit. On the other hand, you get the vacant unit, right? So if this tenant's paying low rent, then you want to do renovations or something else is going on in that unit, where if you can get it vacant, that you can make more income or have a better investment property. Get this tenant out for non-payment, and now you can proceed with whatever plan is going to make the deal more profitable for you. And the fifth consideration, and the final one I'll go over in this video, is the legal standing, the legal considerations. First legal consideration is, when is the point of this payment plan coming up? If you've already filed an eviction, and this happens a lot for us, so if you've already filed the eviction case, and now they're taking it more seriously about their delinquency, and now they want to talk about a payment plan. Like, the case has already been filed, you may have already paid the legal fee, you might as well just go forward with it. It's up to, obviously you could still do a payment plan, but you've already paid the money for the eviction. If you're okay with this tenant leaving, and that's preferable, then at this point you've already put a lot of the energy into the eviction, and now you can move forward with that. So that's one legal consideration. If you're already in the process of getting rid of them, might be better just follow through with your plan than try to renegotiate, dismiss the eviction case. Then they don't honor the plan, then you have to go refile the eviction case. So that's legal consideration number one. Legal consideration number two is there an easier path here than paying the legal fee? The legal fee for eviction is not huge, but if you can do a payment plan with them to avoid paying, somewhat moderate for an eviction, non-payment, but avoid paying $1,000, $800 legal fee, then if the payment plan might save you some legal fees in that regard. And usually there's a court filing cost of less than $100. But yeah, if you think the tenant can work it out and you could save yourself some legal fees with the payment plan, particularly if you think there's a chance they might come even if you have a few months behind, if you think there's an opportunity this tenant might come even on rent. In New Jersey, they can come even on rent even after you win the eviction case. They still have a period of time to come even. So if you think, rather than paying a legal fee starting that case, and then them coming even and the case just getting disregarded, the payment plan might be there as a hedge, where if they fall behind the payment plan, then you pretty much know the eviction case is probably going to be much more easier, much more likely, because you've